the cold air nipped at the edges of the village, a sharp reminder of what was missing. It was the time for snow, the time for the mountains to wrap themselves in a thick, cool white blanket that would melt in the spring and give life to the fields below. But the sky remained stubbornly, achingly clear. So I saw the worry etched on the faces of the villagers, especially in the warm but tired eyes of midwife Nori. She'd delivered half the children in this village, and now she watched them play in the dusty lanes, their laughter a little too fragile. They were hopeful, as children always are, but their hope was a flickering candle in a growing wind. The snow will come, Nori told me, her voice a quiet prayer. It has to. But I could feel the land's thirst, a deep-seated ache that echoed in my own bones. The spirits of the water were quiet, sleeping deep within the frozen earth. The wind spirits were restless, skittering over the bare peaks with no moisture to carry. The balance was off. Waiting was no longer enough. The land needed a gentle nudge, a reminder of its own rhythm. The villagers had done all they could. They had prayed. They had made offerings. Now, it was my turn to listen to what the world was trying to say. As twilight began to paint the sky in shades of violet and deep indigo, I started my climb. The small wooden staff, cool and familiar in my hand, felt like an extension of my own will. The path up the ridge was steep, the air growing thinner and colder with every step. Below, the village lights began to flicker on, tiny stars of warmth against the darkening landscape. I looked down at them, a small cluster of human hope nestled in the vast, waiting silence of the mountains. My purpose felt clear, as sharp as the crisp air I breathed. This wasn't about power or control. It was about listening and gently asking. Reaching the summit, I stood on a rocky outcrop overlooking the valley. The world was hushed, holding its breath. I closed my eyes, focusing not on what I wanted, but on what the land needed. I reached out with my senses, not my voice, calling to the high, cold winds that swept across the mountaintops. I felt their wild, untamed energy, a force of nature that simply was. I didn't command it. Instead, I offered a path, a suggestion. I whispered to the sleeping streams, still locked in their icy beds far below, reminding them of their journey to the sea and the promise of their return as clouds. A soft hum began to resonate through my staff. The silver tips of my hair started to glow, a faint ethereal light in the deepening blue of the evening. It wasn't a surge of power, but a quiet harmony, like finding the right note in a song the world was already singing. I felt the wind spirits respond, their chaotic dance slowing, coalescing. I felt the slumbering water spirits stir, a deep, slow pulse from the heart of the mountain. Philomet. The elements weren't my servants, they were my partners. I was merely a bridge, connecting the village's need with nature's ability to provide. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the stars began to disappear. Not behind angry storm clouds, but behind a soft, gathering mist that seemed to be born from the air itself. A single, perfect snowflake drifted down, landing on my outstretched hand. Then another and another. A whisper of white turned into a gentle, steady fall. Looking down, I saw the village square fill with people. The children, their faces turned to the sky, stretched out their hands. Their laughter pure and bright as they danced in the soft blue light of the evening. The snow wasn't a blizzard, but a promise, settling calmly, blanketing the fields in a layer of hope. Patience doesn't just mean waiting. It means creating the space for the right moment to arrive. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more adventures with Kato. Your support means the world. See you next time.